You know, I've always said that if you really want to understand a country, its people, its culture, its traditions, you have to understand its stories. And there's no better place to find them than right here on this channel. We publish a new original story every week, typically featuring an everyday American doing something extraordinary, all filmed and produced completely in America. So if you want to support American storytellers here in the United States, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and join our growing family. And now on to today's story. It was singing softly in the dawn light, oblivious to the melancholy that hung in the air. They were worn and soft, like an old friend's handshake. Every morning he would wake with the birds, working in the soft light of dawn. People began stopping by, drawn not just by curiosity, but by an unspoken need to be part of something beautiful. High school student David, known for his troubled past, found a sense of purpose in tending to the soil. The gruff Mr. Williams, who everyone thought had no interest in anything beyond his newspaper and fishing, was seen kneeling beside a patch of lavender, surprisingly gentle hands, delicately plucking dead leaves. And so the garden grew, not just in size and beauty, but in the hearts of the people it touched. The garden, now a patchwork quilt of fading flowers and fallen leaves, whispered tales of a season well spent. It had taught them all that, even in the face of loss, life finds a way to bloom again. And when people come together to nurture something beautiful, they also nurture the bonds that make a community a home. Walter, his heart brimming with emotion, looked around at the smiling faces illuminated by the flickering lantern light. Do you want to learn how you can support our work and receive exclusive content? Visit our website and sign up today. The garden, once a place of solitude, had become a sanctuary of shared laughter, healing, and connection. It became a tapestry woven with threads of hope, resilience, and shared purpose. There was Ella, a 7-year-old girl with pigtails bouncing as she skipped down the sidewalk. The quiet strength he displayed in his weathered face was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a spirit that refuses to stay buried in grief when there is still beauty to be found in the world. And there was plenty of beauty in Walter's garden. Sunflowers reached for the sky, their golden heads crowned with a halo of brown feathers. Rows of tomatoes promised a bountiful harvest, and the sweet scent of honeysuckle wove its magic through the warm summer air. She wanted to help her small hands, eager to touch the soil and water the plants. He looked out at the children playing, their laughter echoing in the twilight, and at the adults sharing stories over cups of steaming tea. Pumpkins adorned the windowsills, and the air carried the scent of cinnamon and woods. Walter, with the help of his newfound friends, organized a harvest day, an event open to all the neighborhood children. The garden bustled with activity as little hands picked plump pumpkins and feasted on freshly baked apple pie. The sight of the elderly man with twinkling eyes, surrounded by children with sticky fingers and paint-splashed clothes, was a picture of pure joy, a snapshot of life fully lived and cherished. He felt a surge of gratitude, a profound sense of connection that transcended the boundaries of age, background, and circumstance. The garden, once a symbol of his loneliness, had blossomed into a place of community, a place where the soil bore the seeds of shared experiences and the fruits of human connection. Then there was Mrs. Rivera, a young mother seeking solace in the quiet beauty of the garden. She brought with her the seedlings she had started on her windowsill, shyly offering them to Walter, a silent thank you for the peace he had found in his own sorrow. The rhythmic work of clearing weeds and planting seeds became a soothing mantra, a melody that echoed the steady beat of his heart. He didn't realize it at first, but the garden was responding to his touch. The way a weary traveler responds to a cool drink of water in a desert, the once overgrown wilderness was slowly transforming into a kaleidoscope of colors and textures. Daffodils stood proudly beside vibrant pansies, while tulips in hues of red and purple added their unique charm to the mix. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers and the promise of life renewed. Slipping them over his large, weathered hands, he stepped into the garden, the gravel crunching softly beneath his shoes. He didn't know what to expect, but as he began to clear the weeds and dead flowers, a sense of calm washed over him. It was as if the garden itself was guiding his hands. leading him to the buried treasures of blooming bulbs and dormant plants waiting for a touch of love and care. For a moment, Walter felt a stirring within him, a whisper of life trying to nudge its way into the quiet confines of his heart. It was then that he truly looked at the garden for the first time in years. He saw the daffodils pushing through the tangled weeds, reaching for the sun with stubborn determination. They were a splash of yellow in a sea of green, a silent testament to Linda's love for gardening. It was early spring on Birch Street. Mailboxes were decorated with wooden flowers and colorful glass hummingbirds. The air smelled of freshly cut grass and blooming It was a time of year when the neighborhood on Birch Street bustled with activity, kids racing to the park, dogs barking happily, and the sound of lawnmowers keeping the grass manicured. But at the end of the street, tucked away in a house, with peeling blue shutters, a different kind of silence lingered. It was the kind of silence that settled in corners and seemed to hang in the air like a forgotten melody. In that house lived an elderly man named Walter Hughes, a retired mail carrier with eyes as blue as the sky and hands that told tales of a life. Will lived a life that had once been filled with laughter and the sweet fragrance of apple pie. Now the only sound that disturbed the quiet was the ticking of the clock and the hum of the refrigerator. Walter was a man of few words, a habit born, not just from his introverted nature, but from a deep sadness that had settled in his heart. 4 years ago, his wife, Linda, the sunshine to his cloudy skies, had passed away. She had been the melody to his song, the laughter to his jokes. Since her passing, the only thing keeping him going was the thought of their shared future, the promise that someday he would join her in a place where laughter echoed freely and pain was but a distant memory. His days were spent in solitude, the silence only broken by the gentle rustle of the wind through the oak tree outside his window. But one morning, as Walter stood at the back door with a cup of coffee, he noticed a small bluebird perched on the fence. That evening, Walter pulled out Linda's gardening gloves from the dusty garage. In the following weeks, the garden became Walter's sanctuary. Word began to spread along Birch Street about the old man at the end of the road, bringing his garden back to life. As the weeks turned into months, the garden became a shared endeavor. The sight of Walter, the elderly veteran with wrinkled hands, patiently teaching a teenager how to prune a rose bush, became a familiar scene. One afternoon, as the sun cast long shadows across the garden, Walter stood by the old wooden gate, a gentle smile gracing his lips. As autumn painted the trees in hues of crimson and gold, the garden on Birch Street continued to thrive, under the canopy of a star-studded sky. As the lanterns swayed gently in the evening breeze, the community gathered for one last feast. As the evening drew to a close, the lingering scent of wood smoke and roasting marshmallows in the air, Walter knew that the garden had done its work. This story was brought to you by the wonderful folks who believe in our mission to share authentic American stories with the world.